House of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi continues to host commemorations of Imam Hussein, peace be upon him. With the arrival of the month of Muharram, the House of the Grand Shia jurist Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Shirazi continues to host the commemorations of the Master of Martyrs, Imam Hussein, peace be upon him, in the holy city of Qom in Iran. These commemorations are attended by various groups of Shia believers and lovers of Ahlul Bayt, peace be upon them, as well as religious scholars and activists. The lecturers at these events address the outstanding uprising of Imam Hussein, peace be upon him, and the participants recite eulogies in honor of His Holiness. It is worth noting that the House of the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi will continue to host these commemorations for 13 consecutive days, both in mornings and afternoons, and in the two languages of Persian and Arabic. Sayyid Ahmed Shirazi participates in Husseini commemorations in Kuwait. Sayyid Ahmed Shirazi, son of the Grand Shia jurist Ayatollah Shirazi, took part in several Husseini commemorations in Kuwait during the first 10 days of the month of Muharram. In all these ceremonies, the Grand jurist's son was warmly welcomed by the mourners and the Shia believers. The Husayniyas of Ahmed Ashur, Imam al-Murtaza, Ja'fariya, Doha Fatimiyya, Muslim bin Aqil, Imam Sayyid Shahada, Imam Hassan al-Askari, and the houses of Haji Ibrahim Qalum and Haji Hamza Anki were among the centers that hosted the Grand jurist's son. Qasrul Zahra Husayniya holds Husseini commemorations in Holy Kadhimiya, Iraq. Qasrul Zahra Husayniya, affiliated with the office of the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in Holy Kadhimiya, hosted series of Husseini commemorations to remember the anniversary of the martyrdom of Imam Hussein, peace be upon him, in the city. The custodians of the Qasrul Zahra Husayniya, in compliance to the orders of the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi, commemorate the tragic events of Ashura during the first 10 days of the month of Muharram. Groups of Shia believers and lovers of Ahlul Bayt, peace be upon them, as well as renowned poets and reciters, take part in these commemorations. Amal Saleh Foundation donates food baskets to needy in Baghdad, Iraq. With the arrival of the month of Muharram, Amal Saleh Foundation, affiliated with the office of the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in Baghdad, donates food baskets to needy and low-income households. In collaborations with Amal Political Association, dozens of food baskets by Amal Saleh Foundation were given out to needy on last Thursday, third day into the month of Muharram. Office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi hosts Husseini commemorations in Holy Karbala. The office of the Grand Shia jurist Ayatollah Shirazi in the holy city of Karbala hosted the second and third rounds of the Husseini commemorations during the first 10 days of the month of Muharram. These commemorations began with the recitation of the Holy Quran, and then Sheikh Zia al-Zubaydi delivers lectures to the public. Many cultural and religious figures, as well as the general public, take part in these commemorations. Office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi hosts believers in Kabul, Afghanistan. The office of the Grand Shia jurist Ayatollah Shirazi in Kabul, the capital of Afghanistan, hosted the public groups of Shia believers and lovers of Ahlul Bayt, peace be upon them, in its religious commemorations during the first 10 days of the month of Muharram. Like the previous years, the office of the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi will continue to run series of cultural and religious programs during the month of Muharram. Office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi hosts Governor of Karbala in Damascus, Syria. On last Friday, 4th of the month of Muharram 2021, the Office of the Grand Shia jurist Ayatollah Shirazi in Damascus, Syria, hosted Jassim al-Fatlawi, the governor of the Karbala Governorate. During this visit, the managers of the Zainabiya Islamic Seminary welcomed this Iraqi official and discussed various topics on social issues and the improvement of services to the pilgrims of Imam Hussein, peace be upon him. Office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi hosts Husseini commemorations in Basra, Iraq. The office of the Grand Shia jurist Ayatollah Shirazi in Basra, south of Iraq, continues to host series of Husseini commemorations to remember the martyrdom of Imam Hussein, peace be upon him. It is worth noting that these religious ceremonies are hosted at the Fatima Masuma Husayniya in Basra, hosting large numbers of Shia believers and lovers of Ahlul Bayt, peace be upon them. Shia believers organize Husseini commemorations in Sweden. The Husayniya of Fatima Zahra and Khadija Kubra, affiliated with the office of the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in Sweden, holds series of religious commemorations to honor the anniversary of the martyrdom of Imam Hussein, peace be upon him. It is worth noting that the Afghan nationals shape up the majority of the participants in these religious ceremonies.